Welcome back, survivors, Spartacus speaking. Today we're back on Scorched Earth as we take a look at the best creatures for every resource on this map. This is a sequel to our original guide made for the island, which was very appreciated by a lot of you. So I've decided to make one for Scorched Earth as well, since here we got some new resources, new creatures, and a lot of resource collectors are missing. You get the idea. No reason to waste any more time, so let's start with the classic, berries. On Scorched Earth, the Morellatops and the Anki of all things share the top spot. A special mention to the Equus for being a mobile mortar and pestle, which is great when you go on a narco berry run. But others like the Megatherium and especially the Procoptodon, thanks to its speed, are good as well. Silk is a new resource introduced in Scorched Earth and can be gathered either from plants or from Lymantrias. From plants, a sickle-armed mantis is your best friend, but the sickle is the most important part. From Lymantrias, the Hatchet-armed mantis and the saber-tooth are kind of equal, so either of them is good. For seeds, stick to the same dinos as used for berries, since the Iguanodon doesn't spawn on Scorched. Procoptodon, Morellatops, Equus, etc. For Thach, the Megatherium is probably the best, with the mantis equipped with a good pair of pickaxes and the Doedicurus being close behind. But if you want something a bit more exotic, you can use the Wyvern with its wing flap. But if you want wood, choices are kind of limited. The best is the Thorny Dragon, thanks to its weight reduction on wood. The Mantis with metal axes is an amazing option, but the Chainsaw is another exceptional way to gather wood, if you have a beast of burden to carry said wood, which is also true for the Mantis. Oh yeah, I just remembered, the Raw Golem is also pretty good and has the weight capacity, so that one works as well. Cactus sap is another resource that debuts in Scorched Earth, and just like silk, can be collected in two methods, either from cactus trees, using tames that do good when it comes to thatch, or by gathering from smaller cacti, just like you gather berries. Both the Megatherium and the Morellatops gather well from both sources. A surprising entry on this top is again the Wyvern, which can gather large quantities using its wing flap from tree-type cacti. Another tame worth mentioning is the Equus, which gathers very well from bush-type cacti, and has an 80% weight reduction on cactus sap. Additionally, they have 80% weight reduction on sand and clay as well, and act as a mortar and pestle, so they're your best friend when it comes to building your adobe base. Speaking of adobe, you'll need sand for that. Lots of sand. The best for sand is the Doedicurus, followed by the Phoenix, Mantis, and Rock Golem. You can either pair the Doedic with the Argent to bring large quantities of sand to your base, or with the Equus to craft the clay on the go. For stone, the Doedicurus is still king, no questions asked. The Rock Golem can help you in the late game, but with 75% weight reduction, nothing comes close to the Doedicurus. For metal, the Anki is number one, thanks to that 85% weight reduction and proficiency. But both the Mantis and the Phoenix are pretty close in that regard, with the Phoenix actually working as an upgraded furnace, smelting metal on the go. Same for Obsidian, Anki is the best, followed by the Phoenix and the Mantis with a good pickaxe. Crystal is similar, Anki is number one, but for this the Mantis is better than the Phoenix. Same three dinos are still the best when it comes to the new Sulfur resource, but this time the Phoenix takes the first place, Anki second and the Mantis third. At least when it comes to gathering from sulfur nodes, but you can get sulfur from killing wyverns, and I think the Anki cannot harvest wyverns, so that leaves you with the Phoenix or the Mantis. Flint was almost another triple threat between these guys, however the new Phosolasuchus steals the crown from them on this one. Gathering is super fast, they have good weight, and they gather only flint, so you don't have to worry about getting slowed down by the stone. And the last mineral left, the new raw salt, can be gathered most efficiently using the Phoenix, followed by a pickaxe-equipped Mantis. Oh yeah, before we move to the next category, I have to give a quick shout out to our first member of the channel, Wallachie73. Thank you so much for the support, and I really hope you enjoy the content. And second, to my friend Blue Glue, who has recently started his own YouTube channel. He mainly makes videos for No Rest for the Wicked at this moment, so if you're interested in that game, maybe you should check it out, and maybe even send him a salute from the gladiators. Okay, fiber is best collected using a Mantis equipped with a sickle, but you can also gather it using your Megatherium. When it comes to hide, you get a few options. You can use the Sabertooth, Direwolf or the Thylacoleo, But by far the best are the mantis equipped with the best hatchets you can find, and in the first place, truly in a league of its own, the chainsaw. If you're interested in seeing how big this difference is, there's a video in the description that I think you should check out. Keratin and Pelt are best harvested with a mantis with hatchets, but the saber-tooth, direwolf, and even phoenix can also do a decent job. Wool is once again best gathered with scissors, but good luck finding sheep in this hostile desert. The silicant is the only fish available on the map, so that means no prime fish meat. For gathering fish meat, slap a pickaxe to your mantis and good luck. Your next best choice is the Capursuchus. Oh wait, I'm wrong on this one. Piranhas actually spawn on Scorched Earth Ascended, and you can find them in the rivers of the new cave found at the Red Obelisk. Amazing, yeah I know, do what you want with this info. For raw meat and raw prime meat, you can use your standard Carno and Rex, but the Wyvern, Phoenix, Phasolasuchus, and of course the Mantis can get the job done as well. For mutton, the chainsaw is the best you can use, but if you have tamed sheep, you can slaughter them from the option menu for a good chunk of mutton. Giant bee honey can only be harvested by hand on Scorched Earth, so you should probably get your own beehive. Then again, honey is not that important on this map. For organic polymer, you got both the saber-tooth and the thylacoleo, but your best bet is either the chainsaw or a mantis with either clubs or swords. Sap, just forget about it. Your best harvester is the moss chops, and you have to harvest Joshua trees for it. Problem is, you'll get sap once every 100 trees, so just forget about it. Now, if you manage to find some sap in this godforsaken desert, you can use it to craft veggie cakes to tame acatinas in the caves. That's the only way you can get natural cementing paste, besides just crafting it. Oil can be gathered in 3 ways, either by hand from jug bugs, or from oil veins using oil pumps or dung beetles, if you want a decent quantity. For rare mushrooms, using your Anki on crystal nodes or a moss chops on purple flowers will give you the best results. Same for rare flowers, moss chops on the purple flowers, just remember to increase their proficiency as they level up in the resource you want to collect. For chitin, of course you have to use the megatherium, nothing even comes close. Silica pearls can be found nearby the obelisks in their respective lakes, and you can just gather them by hand. But the best creature for them is the phoenix, since they literally shit silica pearls. But sometimes you will get lucky and your phoenix will shit black pearls instead. The other way of gathering black pearls is by killing deathworms. For that, the megatherium, thylacoleo, and the wyverns are the best, with each having a different advantage in this fight. Killing deathworms will also grant you deathworm horns, for lesser antidote and mantis taming. Again, use the 3 above mentioned creatures. Plant species Y are native to Scorched Earth and can be gathered from a few types of plants. I would say the best is the Procoptodon, since it can gather a lot of plants fast and it can travel super fast across the land to find more of said plants. And the last resource is Element. For that, you will obviously need to beat the Manticore, which is an awesome boss for element farming, being easier to beat compared to the Megapithecus, but giving you more element. Between the Phasolasuchus, Rex, Wyverns, and even the Ceratosaurus nowadays, which by the way Scorched Earth is full of, you got quite a few options to farm this one. One last shout out to the Oasisaur, which can provide a lot of the resources available on the map, depending on your luck when you find one. Oh yeah, and you have to own Bob's DLC for this one. And that's it, the best creatures for every resource available on Scorched Earth. Honestly, the short version of this video is just the mantis for 90% of the resources on the map, but if you found this video helpful, give it a like and consider subscribing to the channel. I've promised you a face reveal at 10k subs, so let's make that happen. Until next time, Spartacus out.